I'm a zombie. Early this morning, my mom burst into my room, ripped open the curtains, and while wearing her apron and waving a spatula, she yelled at me. Still sleeping? You stayed up late again last night, didn't you? I've told you 1,000 times to stay off that phone. Are you even listening to me? I got up sluggishly. She glanced out the window and added, look at Xiaohe next door. How many brains has he eaten already? And you're still just waiting here, waiting for me to feed you, is that it? Get out. I was beyond annoyed, but I couldn't speak. After washing up mechanically, I prepared to head out to avoid her. My mom shouted again, take your bag. Pick up some groceries from the supermarket on your way back. Cabbage, celery, lettuce, and some pork. Make sure it's fresh. Oh, and don't eat the brains on the ground. Too many bacteria. Actually, 3 days ago, I was still a normal, beautiful girl. I was in physics class that day. While I was dozing off, I heard a commotion outside. Right after that, my arm was bitten by my desk mate, who had already been infected. When I woke up again, I was already home. My mom stared at me inside. I heard people say you've turned into some kind of thing. A zombie? Well, it's definitely not something normal. Whatever, at least you're still alive. I was shocked that I could still understand my mom. And that I still had my memories. Aren't zombies supposed to be those mindless forms? Walking corpses? You have no idea how long I searched before I found you in a pile of zombies. Those guys were all baring their teeth and biting people. I kicked them down one by one. And finally brought you home. My mom truly lived up to her reputation as the neighborhood's most famous shrew. Even the zombies couldn't do anything against her. After going downstairs, I threw away the trash and looked for a target on the street. I wasn't actually hungry. I just felt like biting someone when I saw them. Well, anyone except my mom. There was a big supermarket 500 meters east of our complex. I wanted to finish the task my mom gave me first. Otherwise she would start nagging again if I forgot. I ran into Xiaohe on the way, his mouth dripping with blood. He was still holding half a brain, and he was still wearing his school uniform. I didn't greet him. I've realized over the past few days that a conscious zombie with memories might just be me for now. Other zombies are just like the ones in the movies. They bite anyone they see, without any thought. Aside from the fact that I can't speak, move slowly, and have a pale, zombie-like complexion, I'm not much different from a human. Additionally, my hearing has become exceptionally sharp, but my eyesight is poor. My mom insists it's from looking at my phone too much. It really infuriates me. Might as well say I turned into a zombie because of the phone too. I felt an endless loneliness. Like being the only sober person in a world of drunks. Thinking that I could only communicate with my mom from now on. I couldn't help but want to have a good cry. It was very quiet around the supermarket. The main entrance was locked from the inside. Luckily, I knew about a back door. It was very hidden. If you weren't a regular, you wouldn't know it existed. I squeezed through that little path. I ran into a few fellow zombies on the way. The supermarket was very quiet. I walked slowly toward the produce section. Fortunately, the outbreak hadn't been going on for long. And since survivors were afraid to come out, there were plenty of vegetables, and many varieties. They just weren't very fresh anymore. I picked a few items my mom wanted and put them in my backpack. Took a few pieces of meat, and even wrapped them in plastic bags. Mission accomplished. Just as I was about to leave, I suddenly saw massive stacks of snacks on the shelves. I fell silent. If it were the old me, I would have taken them all. But now, I didn't have a shred of appetite. I let out a heavy sigh to express my feelings. But a cry of alarm came from behind me. A zombie. I turned around and saw a beautiful woman. She covered her mouth in shock, her eyes full of terror, repeating, "There's a zombie." With my sensitive hearing, her shrill voice made my ears ache. Subconsciously, I wanted to run, but her voice attracted a large group of people. Where? It's okay, looks like there's only this one. Guys, grab your weapons. Hey handsome, pass me that stick by your foot. Let me finish it off. I was so scared I almost burst into tears. Why kill me? I just came to the supermarket to get some veggies for my mom. I haven't bitten a single person since becoming a zombie. Is that not enough? What should I do? I can't outfight them, and I can't outrun them. In a moment of desperation, I dropped to my knees with a thud, and kowtowed to them. The entire place went silent instantly. What's going on? I don't know. I've never seen a zombie like this. Don't move yet, the man in the lead spoke. He was tall, had a buzz cut, and was quite handsome. He wore a tactical suit, and was even holding a gun. He looked like a special forces soldier. Can you understand me? He crouched down, attempting to communicate with me. Knowing this was a chance to survive, I nodded frantically. A flash of shock crossed the man's face. I clutched my bag, hunched over, and turned toward the door to leave. They didn't stop me. Instead, they watched me with looks of utter astonishment. Just as I was about to exit the supermarket, I suddenly felt a surge of dizziness in my head, causing me to fall to my knees involuntarily. I couldn't feel pain, Just dizziness. Turning around, I saw it was the woman who had screamed earlier. Her face full of malice. Die. The man I'd spoken to shouted angrily. Stop. The woman looked aggrieved. Her tone almost coquettish. What's the big deal, Brother Chung? It's a zombie. Before the man could respond, several zombies suddenly surged in behind me. They panicked. And I took advantage of the chaos to flee. When I got home, my mom saw the state I was in, and instantly flew into a rage. Who did this? Who did this? The grievance I'd felt finally found a release. My mouth hung open, but no sound came out. Tears just kept streaming down. Let's go. Take me to them. I'm going to kill them today. After roughly bandaging my wound, my mom dragged me out the door. It was the supermarket, right? I nodded. My mom thought I was walking too slowly, so she just threw me over her shoulder and carried me. An angry mom is scarier than the king of hell. Even the zombies didn't dare approach. I could practically see flames erupting from her head. The back door of the supermarket was blocked. My mom went to the front glass door and started pounding on it. Which one of you hit my daughter? Don't hide in there and stay quiet. I know you're in there. You had the guts to hit my daughter. How come you don't have the guts to open the door? Open up. Open this door right now. The group of people finally appeared. Seeing my mom could speak and yell normally, they realized she was fine. They wanted to open the door, but the woman who hit me stopped them. That zombie is there too. We can't open it. A man with an afro shoved her aside. Are you blind? That little zombie doesn't even bite. She's lucky if she doesn't accidentally bite herself. If we don't let them in, all the zombies will be attracted here soon. Then what will you do? The woman fell silent. The moment the door opened, my mom pointed at the group and asked who hit me. When I pointed at the woman, I clearly saw her flinch. My mom narrowed her eyes and sneered, humph. Someone actually dared to hit Qian Guolan's daughter. If you want to die, just say so. I'll personally send you on your way. She lunged forward. For a long time, no one dared to stop my mom. When she fights, it's terrifying. Even I didn't dare step forward, let alone anyone else. The man called Brother Chung took the opportunity to walk up to me. His dark eyes stared straight at me. You're sure you were bitten, right? I nodded. And you still have your consciousness, right? I nodded again. He gave a meaningful look at the wound on my arm. He lowered his head and didn't say another word. After 10 minutes of intense combat, it ended with my mom's complete victory. She smoothed back her messy hair, looking at the woman in the corner with blood streaming from her nose, who didn't dare make a sound. She pulled me close. My daughter might be a bit slow. She's even slower now that she's a zombie. But nobody gets to bully her. If it happens again, I'll make you the first person my daughter ever bites. At that moment, my mom's figure seemed to grow taller and taller in my eyes, emitting a brilliant golden light. Let's go home and eat. Because of that last incident, my mom didn't let me leave the house again. I spent all day leaning by the window, looking down, feeling incredibly restless. My mom would knit sweaters while watching melodramatic soap operas, and she'd force me to watch with her. Finally, on the 15th day, there was nothing left in the house. My eyes lit up, and I volunteered to go out and find food. My mom hesitated for a long while, but finally put the backpack on me. She said worriedly, "Be careful. If anyone dares hit you, bite them." It was bad enough being bullied as a human. You're a zombie now, you shouldn't have to take that. This time I chose a different supermarket, one that was further from my house. It took me 40 minutes to reach my destination. Fortunately, it went smoothly this time. Most of the vegetables were gone, and the ones left were rotten beyond recognition. So, I just grabbed some canned goods and my mom's favorite snacks and left the supermarket safely. I was walking home happily when I saw someone halfway back. It was a young boy. He was just walking openly down the street. From his back, he looked like he'd be handsome. I panicked. Oh no. I can't stand to see a handsome guy get bitten right in front of me. But looking like this, there was no way for me to warn him. Seeing how unhurried he was, I had a sudden idea. I'd pretend I was going to bite him and chase him, to make him run to a safe place. No sooner said than done. I immediately made what I thought was a terrifying sound. Yeah. Then I ran toward him with my claws out. Hearing the noise, the boy turned around. He was very tall, lean, with features like a painting. His eyes were a beautiful amber, but the most striking thing was his hair, a stunning blonde. What color is that? I want to dye mine too. I was stunned by his celebrity-level looks. Then it suddenly hit me. Why isn't he running? Not only did he not run, he actually stopped. My eyes widened, and I ran right up in front of him. He studied me with his beautiful eyes, the corners of his lips curling slightly. His voice was clear and magnetic. Are you Songsher? I nodded blankly. Then I realized there was a problem. By nodding, didn't I just prove I wasn't really a mindless zombie? And I just tried to scare him. What if he hits me? What will I do? My mind was racing. But the boy just watched me quietly. Then his eyes drifted downward slightly. His long, butterfly wing lashes casting a thick shadow. He seemed to be thinking about something. There were a few figures in the distance. I couldn't see them clearly, but based on their gait, I could tell. They were likely zombies. Without thinking twice, I shielded the boy behind me, and gestured that there was danger ahead, telling him to run. He looked slightly dazed for a second. What's he doing? Why isn't he running? I was so afraid he'd get bitten. I simply grabbed his hand, and ran backward as fast as I could. The zombies behind us got further and further away. I smiled proudly, but then I turned to see the boy beside me looking completely composed. It turns out my top speed was slower than his casual walk. Ugh, what a blow to my self-esteem. Tears fell silently in my heart. My house was just ahead. This boy seemed a bit airhead, not knowing where to go. I figured his family was probably gone. Leaving him out here to die would be too cruel. Hardening my heart, I pulled him toward my home. Whatever happens, I should at least give him a meal. Fill his stomach. He didn't resist at all. He just followed me obediently. There were a few zombies downstairs. I was afraid they'd attack him. He looked so weak and fragile. Not like my mom, who had the protection of being a terrifying shrew. I bared my teeth to show off my power. The zombies paused for a moment. I must have actually scared them. They all detoured around us. My crushed self-esteem was instantly rebuilt. Wow, I'm actually pretty impressive. The boy remained very quiet, not saying a word, with no expression on his face. As soon as we stepped out of the elevator, I saw my mom looking around at the door. When she saw me, her furrowed brow relaxed, immediately followed by another scolding. Didn't I tell you to get back quickly? Where did you go? I figured with all this time, even if you were crawling on the ground, you should have crawled home by now. I was used to it. After she finished yelling, she finally noticed the boy beside me. Her brow furrowed again. She looked him up and down. Who is he? I was just wondering how to communicate what had happened to my mom, when the boy, who hadn't spoken all way, suddenly opened his mouth. Hello, Auntie. My name is Chimubai. You can just call me Xiaobai. I turned to look at him in surprise. His voice was sweet and soft, and he had a perfect smile on his face. He was already extremely handsome, but with his unique hair, it seemed like all the sunlight in the world was gathered upon him. It was impossible to look away. I watched as my mom's expression changed from hostility to suspicion, then to hesitation, and finally to a fond, anti-smile. Oh my, you should have said you were coming. I haven't prepared anything. She immediately held the door open. Come in, it's cold outside. With a bang, the door slammed shut in my face. The draft blew my hair. I blinked, unable to process what happened. Almost immediately, the door opened again. My mom pulled a long face and glared at me. Why aren't you coming in? Are you waiting for an invitation? Oh my god. You shut the door. How was I supposed to get in? Float through the cracks? As soon as we were inside, my mom snatched my bag away. She rummaged through it and pulled out some snacks for Chimubai. Auntie doesn't have much to eat. Just this junk. My daughter found these today, Xiaobai. Eat more. Look at how thin you are. I was completely lost. Not only did my mom not seem like herself, but Chimubai was also different from when I first met him. He smiled warmly, with perfect manners. Thank you, Auntie. He was as well behaved as a star student. I began to suspect this world was too surreal. What are you standing there for? Come eat something. Do I have to invite you too? I mechanically chewed on the canned food my mom just opened for me. Honestly, I wasn't really hungry. I just wanted to bite someone, but I was conscious, so I could control it. My mom didn't care about the whole zombie thing. If you don't eat, that's a problem. It was like if I missed one meal, I'd die. She had to watch me eat to feel at peace. I couldn't even digest this. I'd just have to throw it up later. I wanted to explain this to her, but I couldn't speak. I squirmed around for ages without being able to get a word out. If I did, she'd just hit me for being disobedient anyway. Auntie, is she a zombie? Chimubai suddenly asked, looking at me with casual amusement. My mom nodded. She got infected at school when it first broke out. But she's different from other zombies. She never bites anyone, and she can understand human speech. Then she muttered. She never listened to me when she was human, but now that she's a zombie, she finally understands. I see, Chimubai nodded. After a moment of silence, he asked, what's her name? Her last name is Qian, like mine. Her dad was out chasing women when I was pregnant. A few months later, he died in a drunk driving accident at night. The settlement money was huge. I was so happy. To celebrate, I named her Hashi, meaning congratulations. Later, her grandmother thought it sounded too rustic, so we changed it. Now it's Qian Duo Duo, lots of money. It sounds like it attracts wealth. In the afternoon, I was sleeping soundly in my room, when my mom suddenly woke me up. Move to the room next door. This room has plenty of sunlight. It's for Xiaobai. A zombie doesn't need sunlight anyway. Before I could even react, my mom was in the room, clattering around and packing things. In no time, she'd thrown all my stuff out. Move it yourself. I'm making the bed for Xiaobai. Looking at the pile of my belongings on the floor, I looked up helplessly. I caught the boy leaning against the wall with his arms crossed. He looked at me and curled his lips into a smirk. I froze. I suddenly felt like I'd invited a wolf into our home. Was it just an illusion? I was furious with my mom's behavior today, so I decided to give her the silent treatment. I intentionally made a lot of noise to express my dissatisfaction. My mom didn't notice at all. Instead, she leaned in close and whispered, "Hey, daughter." I didn't even bother to turn my head. Hearing her close the door, she said sneakily, "Where did you find such a handsome lad? He's way too good looking. I've lived for many years, and I've seen plenty of handsome men, but this is the first time I've seen one this handsome. To tell you the truth, when I was with your dad, it was only because he was handsome. This boy's looks are 1 in a million. He's great, and he has no family left. I'm keeping him here. You work hard to win him over, and give me a beautiful grandson in the future." I looked at her in shock. What kind of nonsense is she spouting? I'm only 18. My mom seemed to know what I was thinking. We're in no rush. You're still young. Keep him around for a few years until feelings develop, and then it'll just happen naturally, right? Fine. There was no communicating with her anymore. Throwing down the work in my hands, I pushed her out in a few quick moves. She's gone completely senile. It's practically the end of the world right now. Everyone else is thinking about how to survive. Yet she's thinking about this nonsense. Sigh, it's my fault too. I inherited my mom's weakness for handsome faces. I couldn't control myself when I saw a good-looking guy, and brought him straight home. Now look at the mess I'm in. I couldn't even keep my own room. I sat on the chair, opened my phone, and found the drama I liked. The whole process took a full 10 minutes. The internet is unstable these days, cutting in and out. I had downloaded it beforehand so it would play smoothly. I hadn't even finished an episode, when there was another knock at the door. Thinking it was my mom, I opened the door impatiently. But it was Chimubai standing there. He leaned against the doorframe, raising an eyebrow at me. Qian duo duo. I didn't have a good look on my face for him. He was the one who stole my favorite room, and stole the little bit of love my mom had left for me. He didn't seem to mind. Well, of course, who could read emotions on a zombie's face anyway? Ah, a zombie who knows how to use a phone. How amusing. He walked into my room as if he owned the place, glancing at my phone screen. The Bitter Life of Ma Taohua, episode 372. He looked down at me, saying coldly, "You certainly have a lot of patience." I was at my limit. Entering my room without permission was one thing, but mocking my favorite drama was another. I angrily pointed at the door, telling him to get out. The boy let out a soft chuckle. He tilted his head, obediently walking toward the door. As he passed by me, he suddenly spoke. "You really are a special little zombie." I was very dissatisfied with his choice of words. What does he mean by that? I was clearly the one who saved him from danger. And now he's staying in my house, eating my snacks, and living in my room. Instead of being grateful, he's acting all high and mighty, as if I'm the one living under his roof. So, I fell asleep in a fit of rage. After becoming a zombie, although I don't eat much, I sleep quite well. I can sleep even more than before. If my mom didn't wake me, I think I could sleep for a whole day and night. Again, at the same time, my mom was like a human alarm clock, bursting into my room punctually. "Get up. Xiaobai already helped me make breakfast. Look at him. Then look at you. Whether as a human or a zombie, I can't escape the fate of being compared to others." I sighed in my heart, accepting my fate. Today's breakfast was simple vegetable pancakes and millet porridge. It was my favorite combo before I became a zombie. Things have changed. Now, it tastes like cardboard to me. I watched Chimubai eating with gusto. "Auntie, your cooking is wonderful." My mom was overjoyed, the smile on her face impossible to hide. She even pushed the plate from my side. Over to Chimubai. "Eat more, Xiaobai. You're too thin. My daughter's build is enough for 2 of you." "Hey, that's uncalled for. Am I really that fat?" "You're talking about yourself, aren't you?" After eating, Chimubai volunteered to do the dishes. He had my mom wrapped around his finger with his sweet talk. As soon as he entered the kitchen, my mom leaned in and whispered in my ear, "What do you think? Not bad, right? I think this boy is much better than your classmates. It's the apocalypse now. Everyone's turned into zombies. The 3 of us should live well together, so we can carry on the Qian family line. Did you forget your daughter is a zombie? How am I supposed to have kids? Do you want a little zombie grandson? Even if I could, I wouldn't do it with this scheming, manipulative boy." I protested fiercely in my mind. My mom couldn't tell, of course. She kept talking to herself, as if it were already a done deal. Then Chimubai came out. "Auntie, I've cleaned everything up." He rolled down his sleeves. "Is there anything else you need?" No. My mom showed a level of tenderness I'd never seen in my life. "Go relax. We have nothing but time now." "Oh, right, there's a computer in Dwedwa's room. The password is 12345678. She's simple-minded. She can't remember anything complex. If you're bored, feel free to use it. I'm not sure if there's internet though. The computer. I shuddered. The shock I felt was worse than being hit by that stick. Is a computer something you just let other people use? The things I have stored in there. If even one thing got out, I'd be socially dead for 100 years. I was too careless. All my passwords are the same. My mom didn't even have to ask to know it. If I get the chance, I'm changing them. All of them. I didn't even have time to stop him. I watched helplessly as Chimubai agreed, and went back to the room. The sound of the door closing was like a bomb exploding in my heart. My mom went back to her room to watch her drama. I was alone in the living room, panicked as if I'd committed a crime. He must not see it. I hurried over and knocked on his door. Yes? Chimubai leaned lazily against the doorframe. Though he asked, his eyes were clear. He wasn't surprised at all, looking like everything was under control. Subconsciously, I first looked toward the computer, but Chimubai was tall and sturdy, blocking my view completely. I was desperate, so I awkwardly tried to jump. That jump barely cleared 3 centimeters. Chimubai was amused by me. He teased me. Are you a zombie or a hopping vampire? I thought, none of your business. I pushed him aside when he wasn't looking. He didn't stop me, just watched as I walked to the computer. No signs of it being turned on. He hadn't had time to look. I breathed a sigh of relief. Chimubai slowly walked up behind me. What are you looking for? I felt a bit guilty. Before I could even finish shaking my head, I heard his voice tilt upward slightly. The secret emotions of an arrogant man. The Game of 3 Gentlemen. With every title he spoke, my heart skipped a beat. How did he know? He clearly hadn't looked yet. I was completely flustered, thinking it over. The only explanation was that before my mom even told him, he had already looked at my computer. But how did he know the password? Question after question raced through my mind. The boy in front of me frowned. I just wanted to check the news. This messy stuff of yours is too conspicuous. There was no point in struggling anymore. Right now, I only had one wish. I opened the computer and painstakingly typed 5 words on the screen. Don't tell my mom. The boy was still acting nonchalant. He looked at me and smiled. An innocent yet wicked smile, then begged me. Darn it. I utterly regretted picking up this jerk. He's caused me so much trouble. The boy looked at me sideways, his smile gradually turning dangerous. You're calling me names? I looked up sharply. How did he know? Jerk. Holy crap. I was completely exposed. Can he read minds? He can hear my internal thoughts. I was the one who saved him. He acts so well-behaved in front of my mom, but secretly bullies me behind her back. I was fuming. I decided to just let loose in my mind. Screw you. You're ungrateful. Chimubai sneered. You're quite a brave zombie. It's good that you understand me. It saves trouble. I don't have to hold back anymore. Humph, don't get cocky. If you bully me again, I'll bite you to death. I'll turn you into a zombie too. The amusement in his eyes deepened. Then he rolled up his sleeve, exposing his toned forearm to me. He said indifferently, go ahead. This move was completely unexpected. Is this guy crazy? But since I'd already said it, backing down now would make me look weak. After a moment's hesitation, I grabbed his arm and took a bite. I didn't actually bite down. I thought he would flinch. Being bitten by a zombie is terrifying. But he didn't move a muscle. Instead, he watched me with great interest. I really had met a madman. I gave up. He stared at his arm, at the ring of saliva I'd left there. He frowned. So gross. Then he wiped it on my clothes a few times. Since that day, I'd labeled Chimubai as an abnormal person, an outlier. I avoided him whenever possible, keeping communication to a minimum. The house was out of supplies again. Zombies were rampant outside. Chimubai stepped up. Auntie, I'll go find supplies for us. I couldn't help but call him a manipulative boy in my heart. Almost instantly, I received a cold glance from him. I trembled in fear, quietly playing dead beside them. My mom immediately objected. No, it's too dangerous. Look at how frail you are. How could you be a match for those zombies? It's fine, Auntie. I'm young after all. I can't let you go out and take risks. After some intense back and forth, my mom finally gave in. Fine then. Take that girl with you. She can block for you in a crisis. I couldn't stay in this house for another minute. For some reason, there were almost no zombies in our residential area. The two of us reached the gate safely. I heard on TV that this is the most dangerous time. Even though Chimubai and I aren't on good terms, I couldn't just watch him get bitten by a zombie. I wouldn't be able to face my mom if that happened. My abilities aren't great, but at least I'm a zombie. Like my mom said, blocking for him in a crisis was fine. I wouldn't die anyway. Thinking of this, I bravely stood in front of him. Seeing this, Chimubai gave a soft chuckle, but said nothing. We didn't find much on this trip. The nearby supermarkets had all been scavenged. We didn't dare go too far either. I was afraid I couldn't protect Chimubai. At the thought of my mom going hungry, I was worried sick. I walked with my head down, not knowing where to go, when I was suddenly grabbed by the collar and lifted up by Chimubai. This way. I was surprised he was so strong, lifting me so easily. Me. I looked up at this path we'd never taken before, wondering in my heart, where are we going? Chimubai didn't answer me, just led me along. Since we'd come out, we hadn't encountered a single zombie along the way. I found it very strange. Chimubai suddenly said, there must be another group around here. That drew all the zombies away. That made sense. We'd been walking for an hour. Due to my physical condition, I walked very slowly. Chimubai seemed to be walking fast, but he always managed to keep a perfect distance from me. He must be waiting for me secretly. He must be scared himself. Pfft. We walked down a small path, and through a small woods. Just as I was starting to get suspicious, a building appeared in front of us. In here, he stepped forward, to a small screen by the door, and entered a series of numbers. Unlock successful. With a prompt, the door locks opened one by one.